Hey everybody, it's Hylian Alchemist, and welcome to the finale of Let's Play Pokémon Red. We have successfully defeated the Elite Four, and we have officially become the Champion of Kanto. But we are not quite done just about yet, because, like I was mentioning in near the end of the last episode, there is actually one particular dungeon that we are about to go to, and you probably might know about this, because we previously, well, we did see that before, but we couldn't go in because some random person decided it was a good idea to block our way, because apparently it's too much of a dangerous place. But now that we have become the champion, looks like that we just saw that the guy is gone now, and so we have free access to the place. So let us go onwards to that dungeon. It's actually called the Cerulean Cave, which is what that guy already mentioned. As a matter of fact, it actually had two names. One was Cerulean Cave, and the other was Unknown Dungeon. I actually kind of like Unknown Dungeon better, because it just gives off a more mysterious vibe, I should say. So, the Cerulean Cave. Like the guy I mentioned before, it's filled with strong Pokemon. I mean, like, tons strong. This is the dungeon where, like, you'll encounter the strongest Pokemon there is, ranging above, like, around level 50s. Yeah, you'll be encountering Pokemon that are, like, above level 50s. And, like, it's kind of probably one of the best dungeons to probably grind more for Elite Four challenges. And by the way, like, I actually did mention that I did record footage of me trying to beat the Elite Four for the first time, and I did, but it was kind of a poor performance. So what I did was that I actually did go to Cerulean Cave and grinded my Pokemon up to level 50. That's the exact dungeon where I did just that. So it's just to let you guys know. And it's better to do that, like, much better than Victory Road anyway. So, and yeah, I know I'm not showing off any of the wild battles, because even though I'm using the Max Repel, I'm still getting wild encounters, and it makes sense, though, because they're like, levels higher than my current team. I mean, they're just a little closer to level 50s, but there's some Pokemon that are way above that. And, you know, the kind of Pokemon encounters you'll have here in this dungeon are completely random. I mean, they don't have, like, any sort of specific set, like, you know, that kind of fits the habitat of the cave. Like, it goes randomly. You'll encounter, Dodrio, Venomoth, Kadabra, Parasect, Arbok, or, well, if you're playing red, but in blue, you'll just be encountering Sandslash. And you'll even encounter Pokemon that, like, evolved Pokemon from evolutionary stones, such as Raichu. Which normally doesn't happen, because they never appear in the wild at all, but this is the only... Well, as far as I remember correctly, I don't remember if any other game did that, but I think this is probably the only dungeon where you'll encounter Pokemon in the wild that are, like, evolved from evolutionary stones. And another little, thing right here, another Pokemon you'll encounter, this is also the only other dungeon, well, the only other location where you can encounter Chansey. Because, like, usually you'll find Chansey in the Safari Zone, but if you'd rather not have to go through just trying to catch Chansey and just that running away and just having to look for it all over again because of how rare it is, if you don't want to go through all that, then you might want to go to this place if you want to catch Chansey, with probably the easier way, just, like, probably weakening it and then catching it, without it ever running off from you. Oh yeah, and check this out, people, guys. Well, okay, I was about to say people, but then I just changed to guys, so... I gotta make my mind. Look at this here! Watch this! Look at this! I don't know what happened there. I went down the ladder, I went south, and somehow, my avatar, my character, Red, just got right on top of that rock formation. I was like, what? Just, how? What is this? What is going on here? I mean, that was just weird, like what I just did. One of those glitches here. I've never encountered that glitch up until now. Well, up until the time I recorded this video, or this footage. It never happened to me before. I mean, I know this is a game where it's glitch heavy, but, like, seriously, it hasn't happened to me before. Although, it actually does happen again in Black and White 2, where, you can actually surf in a tree in Pokestar Studios. I was like, did they seriously miss that? They seriously just missed that kind of opportunity there, and just leave it like that. Like, when it was just released for the public, they left it like that. They didn't even bother fixing it whatsoever. It's just weird. And here's another little piece of trivia about the Cerulean Cave as well. Now, for some odd reason, like, you know, this actually, this layer right here in red and blue isn't exactly the original design. It's, like, it was completely changed from the design it was in the original red and green. So it wasn't like that in the original red and green. It's a new design from those games. And then it was changed again in yellow. And I'm like, well, why do they keep changing the layouts? I don't understand. Now, Fire and Leaf Green actually did reuse the layout that was in the original red and green. And Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and yeah, the Cerulean Cave actually does appear in Heart Gold, Soul Silver despite not being in the originals. Well, mainly because of lower space. But the Cerulean Cave in Heart Gold, Soul Silver actually appears to combine all the layouts from each of those games, like red and green, red and blue, and yellow. So I thought I'd throw it out there. So anyways, enough talking right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to meet... Yeah, I'm trying to think of a better introduction to this, so... Yeah, this just came out of my ass, so... This is Mewtwo, the strongest Pokemon in this game. And how am I gonna deal with it, you may ask? Quite simple. Throw a Master Ball at it. See? Plain and simple. Just not even gonna bother with it, just throw in the Master Ball. And there we go. Mewtwo has been caught. So, let's go and check out that Pokédex entry for Mewtwo, the genetic Pokemon. It was created by a scientist after years of horrific gene splicing and DNA engineering experiments. So yeah, Mewtwo is a Psychic-type legendary Pokemon. It is the strongest one in this game, the best in this game as well. And it's so popular that alongside Charizard, it has 2 Mega Evolutions, well, each one for their own exclusive versions. Versions? Sheesh, can't speak today again. Ugh. But yeah, like, it's very strong, like the best Pokemon there is in this game. And its moves are Psychic, Reflect, Recover, and Swift. Now, if you choose to actually fight it, and, well, like, just fight it regularly and just throw Ultra Balls at it, it can be a pretty good challenge. But if you just want to go the simpler way and just, you know, use the Master Ball on it, then, you know, and help yourself with that. It's probably best to just save your Master Ball for that particular Mewtwo. Well, considering it is a level 70 at that as well. And, like, you know, just save that Master Ball for that. Because it's probably like, because it is the only Master Ball you ever get anyway. And so considering how powerful Mewtwo is, and probably has a high catch rate, then I think it would be best to use a Master Ball as well. But if you want to just go for a bigger challenge, you can just battle it and use Ultra Balls. So, anyways, so there we have it. That's about it. That's the end of this episode, and that is officially the end of the Pokemon Red Let's Play. Well, Generation 1 specifically. But I'm just doing just the Red version, so... Anyway, before I go ahead and end this off, I'll just go ahead and give out my final thoughts to the game. I actually enjoy this game. I still think it's a fine game. It still is to this day. I mean, you know... If you want to go back to it for nostalgic reasons, then they can just play anytime. But, like, you know, the thing about it is, though, it just hasn't really aged well. Because, like I said, it's very horribly unbalanced. It's very glitchy and pretty buggy as well. And you know, later generations do a much better job, so it is kind of awkward for me to go back to. But I still enjoy it. Even when I go back to it, it's still a good ride. But it's flawed, yeah. But you know, if there's one thing I'm glad about the game, it's that I'm glad this game existed in the first place. Because if it was for this game, then the Pokemon franchise as a whole wouldn't be so popular, which I'm sure it is right now. For me, in my opinion, it's still growing strong. Like to this day, it still is. So, but like I said, though, I mean, it is kind of awkward to go back to it, and later generations do a much better job. with the balancing issues and just making the Pokemon games more fun to play. Now, let me see. I'm trying to think of anything else to say. Now pretty much about the kind of annoying Gen 1 fan base, specifically the Gen 1ers. Like how they would just, well, mainly the ones who would just, not only just hate on the newer games, but like they just harp on you for liking the newer games, and that's actually what kind of pisses me off a lot as well. Like it's completely fine if you love Generation. Like I said though, if it's really no problem at all. It's perfectly fine if you guys consider Generation 1 as your favorites, because I'm pretty sure it's one generation you grew up with as a kid. So if you love this game, that's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about like those ones who would just antagonize you for liking the newer games. Those would be considered Gen 1ers. And then let me tell you, like, well, there's both Gen 1ers and New Geners. New Geners are basically just the ones that are kind of like Gen 1ers, except it's the other way around, where they just blindly love the newer games, and they just harp on others for liking Gen 1. And even as a guy who actually kind of does prefer the newer games, at least I'm not like the kind of guy who would just blindly follow it. I mean, even to this day, like I still think Game Freak will just show off, like they'll just do some lazy designs, like some pretty crappy designs. There's a mixture of both good and bad designs, so no Pokemon design is perfect by any means. But what are you gonna do? So, and as far as like, if you want to go for the full-on experience with this game, well, for any kind of experience with Kanto, I would recommend Fire and Leaf Green. It is way better. Like even though it's in Gen 3 and it's like before the physical special split in Gen 4, it's a way better experience. Now the only problem about Fire and Leaf Green is that like since since Golbat and Chansey evolve into Crobat and Blissey respectively by friendship, for some odd reason, when they would try to evolve, but the game ultimately prevents them from doing so, and they can't evolve at all until you get the National Dex. That's the one kind of problem I have with Fire and Leaf Green, but overall, it's a much better experience, and I would recommend you play those games. I mean, it's bouncing issues are already fixed. It has been fixed since Gen 2, but it has much better balance, and just any kind of improvement that's been made upon for those remakes. I mean, they're both exactly the same. Well, like I know that a lot of people would just prefer the originals, which is fine, just for nostalgic measures. But for the overall experience, then Fire and Leaf Green is the way to go. It's much better that way. So, anyways, I think that's about pretty much about all I have to say. So then, for the next LP that I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna be the game I'm gonna be do for my next Let's Play. I'll actually be returning to a franchise that was already done previously on this channel. And, well, like, it's actually not the next game afterwards, because I don't really want to do that game. But it's actually another game which a lot of people know about, like, back in its earlier days, and a lot of people would love. Well, you'll see what I mean in the, once I upload the first episode of that LP. But the next time that we get back into Pokemon, or the next Pokemon game I'll be going for once we get back into the series, I will be doing Generation 2. Well, specifically Crystal. I'll be doing a Pokemon Crystal for my next Pokemon LP. Of course, I would have to use my physical copy of the game, because for some odd and mysterious reason, Pokemon Crystal didn't even make it to the eShop. Only Gold and Silver did. And I honestly don't know why. I really don't know why they just didn't bother to release Crystal. It's just weird. Even though, I mean, Yellow was released on the Virtual Console alongside Red and Blue, so how come Crystal didn't get that treatment? It's kind of weird. So, anyways, I guess I'll do it right now. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this Let's Play of Pokemon Red, even though I've had so many delays, there's so many hiatuses that I've had to go through, and I'm pretty sure, like, I think this Let's Play has gone on for almost a year, I should say. Well, like, many months here, but I really wanted to end this LP right now, and so it's officially over. We're all done here, so... But overall, I do hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to, like, you know, post your overall thoughts on this LP. It can be positive, it can be negative, and just tell me how much I failed miserably at all these. But, you know, it's YouTube, so... Anyways, so, that'll do it. And I will see you guys on my next Let's Play that I will be doing, so... See you guys then.